Welcome to Outside the Box, where we take what's fresh and seasonal and show you how to prepare it in your kitchen. I'm excited that it's finally November because that means that my favorite holiday of the year is just around the corner, Thanksgiving. And just because every store likes to skip over it, even though why would you? It's full of delicious food and tons of dessert. So today we're going to be making butternut squash pie. I'm going to be using butternut squash instead of pumpkin because it's seasonal year-round, so you can make it any time of year and not constrained to November. And it has an extra sweet flavor to it, so you don't need quite as much sugar to sweeten it up. First, we need to get the butternut squash cut in half. I like to cut off the stem first before I do that, just to make it a bit easier. Once you've gotten it cut in half, it's time to pull out the seeds. I just like to use a big spoon and scoop them on out. Brush the butternut squash with some oil. I like to use safflower oil, but any oil will do. Then place the butternut squash face down on a baking sheet. Put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes or until it's cooked all the way through. Scoop out the butternut squash and put it into a food processor. Blend until it's pureed. Now it's time to make the pie filling. First, let's add in the pureed butternut squash. Add in half and half, 2 eggs slightly beaten, brown sugar, whole wheat flour, salt, cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. Mix up the pie filling until all the ingredients are well incorporated. Next, we need to pour that pie filling into a crust. I made mine at home, but you can do store-bought or homemade. Bake at 425 degrees for 15 minutes, and then reduce the heat to 350 degrees for 45 to 55 minutes, or until it's cooked through. Now that the pie is done, it's finally time to eat it. I decided to use butternut squash instead of pumpkin because butternut squash is sweeter than pumpkin is, which means I don't have to use quite as much sugar in the pie. That way I can eat a lot more pieces and not feel as guilty. And on top of that, butternut squash is available year-round, which means I don't have to wait until October and November to finally get some pie to make some fresh pumpkin pie. I can make butternut squash pie that tastes just as yummy and have it any time of year that I want, which is good for those of you who are obsessed with pumpkin pie just like me. Let us know what you thought about our recipe by commenting on our Facebook or Instagram. I hope you have a great Thanksgiving full of plenty of pie.